So you're thinking about Hong Kong, or maybe you're already there, navigating that incredible city. But let's get real for a second. What does it actually cost to thrive in one of the most dynamic and, yeah, most expensive places on Earth? Today, we're going to unlock the real salary data you need for 2026. Let's break down the numbers that really matter.
Hong Kong. The energy is amazing, but the costs? Wow. We're talking about a city where a tiny apartment can easily set you back 30,000 Hong Kong dollars a month. Want a beer after work? That'll be 80. A simple cup of coffee? 50. Dinner for two? Let's not even go there. It's a global powerhouse for sure, but the price of admission is high. Which, of course, brings us to the big question. The one probably on your mind right now. Am I getting paid enough to actually live here? To thrive, not just scrape by. Well, today, we're going to answer that. We've got the real market data for the top jobs in banking, tech, law, you name it. And don't worry, I'm going to convert everything to US dollars so you can see how it all stacks up.
All right, let's kick off our countdown. At number 10, we have the head of supply chain, pulling in a cool 1.4 million Hong Kong dollars. Think about all the chaos in global shipping lately. Well, these are the strategic minds who actually fix it and make sure things get where they need to go. That kind of problem solving, it commands a serious paycheck. Coming in at number 9 is the AI lead. And look, the story here is really simple. It's all about scarcity. Every single company wants a piece of the AI revolution. But guess what? Almost nobody knows how to actually build and implement it. So if you're one of those few true experts, you can pretty much name your price. At number 8, we have the solution architect, earning a solid 1.7 million Hong Kong dollars. The best way to think about them? They're like the master architects of the digital world. They design the entire technology backbone that a modern company runs on. When the foundation is that important, you pay the person who designed it very, very well. Okay, number 7 is a big one. We're officially crossing the 2 million HKD mark for the first time with the regional head of legal. That's $250,000 US dollars. These are the top lawyers at major banks and investment firms, and their job is absolutely critical. If you can navigate the insane complexity of huge cross-border deals, you are worth every single penny. Tied with our last spot at number 6 is the Chief Information Security Officer, or CISO. This salary tells you everything you need to know about doing business today. Hackers are everywhere, the threats are constant. This is the person standing on the digital wall, protecting a company from total disaster. That's a valuable position to be in. And now we're cracking the top 5. At number 5, the Investment Banking Director, clocking in at 2.2 million HKD. The market is buzzing right now because IPOs are back on the table. And who makes those massive deals happen? These are the people. And get this, that 282,000 US dollars, that's just the base salary. We're not even talking about the huge bonuses. In our number 4 spot, the Chief Information Officer, with a hefty 2.5 million Hong Kong dollars. This salary really reflects a fundamental shift in business. Technology used to be a support department, stuck in the basement. Not anymore. For most successful companies today, technology is the business, and the CIO is the one leading the charge. Okay, here we go, the top 3. Kicking it off is the private banker at the managing director level, earning 2.8 million HKD. So who are these folks? Well, they manage the fortunes of the ultra wealthy. We're talking the 1% of the 1%. And as you can see, their paycheck reflects their client list. Our runner-up at number 2 is the Chief Financial Officer, clearing $3 million. And notice that little plus sign. That means it often goes much higher. At the big corporations in Hong Kong, we're talking close to 400,000 US dollars, if not more. The logic is simple. If you're in charge of the money at a massive company, you are going to make massive money. And now, the moment we've been waiting for. The number 1 highest paying job in Hong Kong for 2026 is the regional head of legal on the buy side. So what does buy side mean? Think hedge funds, private equity firms, the companies that buy assets. Their base salary is a staggering 3.3 million Hong Kong dollars. That's 423,000 US dollars. Base pay. That right there is the top of the mountain. So that's the view from the absolute top. Pretty wild, right? But let's be honest, most of us aren't in the C-suite, at least not yet. So what about a mid-career professional? What can they expect? Let's do a quick rapid-fire round through the key industries. All right, let's start with tech.
A mid-level software engineer, you're looking at about 900,000 HKD. A DevOps engineer is pulling in around 850K. And a data scientist, they're breaking that seven-figure mark, coming in at 1.1 million HKD. Now over to finance. A financial controller can expect to make around 1.08 million. A treasury manager is just over a million. And a compliance manager is looking at 720,000 HKD.
Okay, for any lawyers watching, this next one is a big deal. The kind of firm you work for makes a huge difference. If you're at a major international firm, you're looking at over 1.3 million. But at a local firm, that number drops way down to around 960,000. That is a massive, massive gap.
And let's round this out with construction and some other key roles. A project manager is pulling in 600,000, a construction manager 800,000. But look at the jump for a leasing director, all the way up to 1.5 million. And other director roles in HR, marketing, or procurement, they're all sitting comfortably between 1 and 1.3 million. So we've seen the jobs and the numbers. But what are the actual skills that get you these top salaries? Well, there are three that really stand out. First, AI and data. And I don't mean just playing with ChatGPT. I mean deeply integrating these tools into a business. Companies are desperate for this. Second, being truly fluent in both Mandarin and English. Mainland firms are expanding, and they need people who can bridge that gap. And third, strategic thinking. Companies don't just want people who follow orders. They want problem solvers who can look at the big picture and find a better way forward.
So the reality is crystal clear. Hong Kong is an incredibly expensive place to live, no doubt about it. But the opportunities, the rewards for top talent are absolutely world-class. Which brings us right back to our first question, only this time it's for you. After seeing all this, are you getting paid what you're worth? You have the data now. You know what's possible. The next move is yours.